push the button. Hello, welcome in. Good to see you. Ark, hello. Chuckaroo, Franco, Danny, Rain. Good to see you all. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful morning. I'm gonna figure out how to put my screen on full screen so you can all see it. Um, Good morning, Spy Guy. Hello, hello. Whiskey emergencies always have priority. Arc, no worries at all. I hope everything is all right. I hope the sound is all right. I hope the visuals are all right. Um, First, I already want to say I am definitely not an authority on songwriting. I just love doing it. I love learning about it. And for this session today, I'm gonna ask you some questions, and we are gonna analyze a few songs from Danny together, and we are gonna see what I feel are the main elements of songwriting. And that's what we're gonna do today. And if you have any questions in the meantime at any of the moments that we're talking, be sure to put them in the chat, be sure to put them in the document. I have a little space at the end as well for some questions. And yeah, let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let's go to the present area. Um, Clever, hi, good to see you. Welcome in. You're all right on time. Whenever you enter, you're all right on time. Thank you so much for joining. I hope it has been like good weather the whole time, and now it's started winding. I don't know words. Um, thank you so much, Danny, for saying the LPS setup is phenomenal. I just got my green screen, so it's not fully connected to all those places. So if you see like something whip up from that side, it's that. Um, but it's so good to see you, Nick. Hi, good to see you, Stormin. Welcome in. So yeah, we are having a session on songwriting today. Thank you so much, Franco. um, and I kind of used this session for from that I did on basic beginners, like how to start with music, as a little bit of the setup as well. Um, just because I feel songwriting is something that even though you got all the tools with you, even though you got all the analyzing or all the theory with you, it's still something that is very personal and very um, subjective because of that as well. Um, and I feel like everyone has their way for songwriting, so there is no set way. The things that we're going to see today are a few of the tools that you can use to have it a little bit more structured. But songwriting is for me is something that you figure out your own way in, and it's not ever set in a certain way. There's people who say this is the correct way to songwrite, this is the correct way of to songwrite, but there's like 20,000 correct ways of songwriting, in my opinion. I'm not an authority, but that is how I feel about songwriting. Clever, be like Jazzy when I grow up. You already are so much more awesome and also already so much more grown up. But thank you, I appreciate that. So yeah, that is what I feel, how I feel about songwriting. There is so much to tell about songwriting, but my question to you at first is, what is songwriting? What makes songwriting songwriting? Um, Anyone, feel free to let us know what you feel like. What is songwriting to you? What is the definition of songwriting? What is songwriting? Difficult is what Franco says. Because doing your feelings into weird basement sounds, says Daddy. That's 100% true. Yeah. Wait, did I do this right? 100%, Franco. You did it perfectly right. Yeah. Please let us know what you feel songwriting is about. Because there's so many things to songwriting. There's so many feelings about songwriting. There's so many ideas about songwriting. And it's hard to know which ones are correct for you. And there goes the green screen. Hold up thing. uh, but yeah, there's many ways, as said earlier, that to write songs. But what is the correct way for you to write songs? And that is a hard thing. Clever says, is it working on something for 3 days, hating it, and then throwing it away? I fully agree with that, yes, but also no, but also yes. 100%. But also, like, yeah and no, because if you feel like you're stuck with something, it might be because at that moment of time, you don't have to finish it. I don't know, maybe. Or maybe it's because you're trying, we're gonna come back at that to that at the end, but like maybe it's because your approach is maybe not the approach that suits your style of songwriting. That's just Nick says transferring feelings to lyrical pairings. That is beautifully worded. I love that, Nick. I love that. And that is definitely correct. Transferring feelings, emotions to lyrical pairings, to things that work together in the lyrics. 100% facts. Yep. Rain says, I actually never thought about this question. So I'm sitting here going like, Danny's so nervous. I fully understand that. Yeah. And songwriting, when I sit down and write songs, I usually don't think about it, but thinking about what we're actually doing might help to figure out what it is, what we're doing, and what we're trying to do. Um, no, yes, no, yes, 100%, absolutely, but not really. 100%, yes, I agree with that statement fully. So, what is songwriting? There's a lot of elements that come with songwriting. The Cambridge Maria Webster something dictionary says that songwriting is the act or process of writing the music and the words of songs. So that is the definition of the word itself. But there's a lot of elements that come to songwriting. Nick already mentioned like lyrics, words, making the feelings and the words collide in a great way that they work together. But it's not only words, because there's also music, the music part that is also a huge part of a song, of course. When you think about words, you can start thinking, oh wait, there's structures to write a song, there's structures to words the songs. There is music that is built up in different ways. Music is part of many different forms. In a song, you have the main melody, you have the chord progressions, you have harmonies, you have backings, you have all these elements that come together in a song. And when you're songwriting, all these elements, they usually come later. But like there's so many things and elements that make a song. For example, the tonality, if you go up or if you go down, or if you go like ooh, 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 something like that. It all works together at some point, and you try to create something that where all these elements come together and work together well. And that is kind of for me what songwriting is as well, bringing all these elements together so they work and so they fit together in a way that next slide that connection is formed, both between all these elements, but also connection between who writes the song and the song, because it comes from somewhere. It's the emotion, the feeling is a very important thing in that. But also the connection between the song and the listener, because a song is written from connection and people connect to it because there is a reason why a song touches their emotions as well. So a lot of things work together because there is a connection between the elements. If the music is very sad, but like the words are very, very happy, it can work, and there are songs like that. Um, but it is something that has to connect and kind of hits the right strings for the people listening and also for the person writing it. So um, when you're connecting these elements, um, and you make choices in certain ways, you try to connect these elements so that these elements connect to the listener and to the songwriter. So connection is everything. Why is connection so important? Because connection is everything. Because without the connection, everything feels like it doesn't fit together, like it doesn't work together, like there is some kind of connection missing, you know. So that's why connection is important. Yay, connection. I don't know if anyone has any questions about that, feel free to let us know. My Wi-Fi on my iPad is a little bit lacking, it seems, so if I do not see it, I'm so sorry. I will get back to it if that is the case. I hope the Wi-Fi is working though on the TV PC. um Stress. Ah. Anyway, um, so connection. Um, there's so many things in music itself: beat, rhythm, tone, structure. In words, you have the lyrics, the structure, the storytelling, the flow of the song. And I've kind of divided them in elements that I feel are mostly the important parts of how I feel analyzing a song would work best, but it can be however you feel like it works. But I hope it's connecting again. Oh, connection, Wi-Fi. Perks of streaming outside. Oh, I missed a lot of chat because of Wi-Fi. Let's see. Let's catch up. Once started wondering what is music. Like, what does a musician produce? Is it the sheet music, the actual sound recording? Don't wonder about that. It can get you into a spiral. That's true. Um, I might explode from Fridays is also. Oh, thank you, Danny. Get exploded, nerd. 100%. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. Wait. Now I'm confused. This is going into my brain way too late. But like, hey, it's okay. Who would write a song that is very happy but has sad words? Well, well. um, the stream is uninterrupted, so I'm impressed with the Wi-Fi out. That's amazing. Also, hi, Previs. Good to see you. Welcome in. Um, so okay, the elements of a song. There's a lot of elements to song and songwriting, but the main question. Oh, apparently my piano decided to play a song. Because why not? In musical intermezzo. Um, so yeah, the elements, I split them up in 5 elements. The first one, the topic, where do you start writing? Because a lot of people, when they start songwriting, they are, how do you find inspiration? What do I write about? There's so many things I can write about. How do I start? What does everything bring with it, you know? The second one is song structure. How do you build your song? Every song has like a set structure that most of the songs, definitely in pop music, follow. So we're also going to look at that. Tonality in music. Where do you start with tonality and music? Because the music is a part that makes a song or not, together with the lyrics, together with every element. Um, I haven't had to go, so that's true. Uh, yeah, 100%. It moved outside for today, though. But yeah, tonality and music. Music has different elements: chord progressions, main melody, harmony, beat, dynamics, and timbre, in which music theory can be helpful, but it definitely is not a must. You can write songs without any theory at all, but music theory can help you to understand what's going on more. And then we also have, of course, lyrics. Rhyming structures, metaphors, symbolism, from whose point of view is the song written and to who is it written, which words in your sentences are important and which ones are less important. And then at the end, we're coming back to what I mentioned before with the connection already, is a little bit like, do you write rationally, emotionally, or do you mix a bit of both? Because apparently the thing there is from, I copied from the lyrics. I've got to change that. Oops. Let's move on. So yeah, the starting point. How do you start? Where do you start? What do you begin with? This is an element that is very personal. I'm sorry, I can't help you very much with that because it's different for everyone, and it can be a challenge to move from your habitual starting point to another one. For example, I have written my most of my songs I've written sitting down with the piano and just like progressing while I'm moving forward. So I figure out like a scale or a chord progression I want to write in, then I start playing around and the lyrics come out with that. But it depends and it varies to what you're comfortable with. The inspiration can come from anywhere. We'll get to that as well. But like how to start is a very vague thing because it's a very personal thing. And it can be good to switch up what you start with sometimes to challenge yourself with some other things that you're not comfortable with, or that give different sounds. If you write a song on the ukulele, for example, it might sound totally different than when than when you write a song on the piano. Because I feel ukulele, guitar as well, it's more of a rhythm melodic instrument, while the piano is more like you have that swoon feeling, that dinosaur swoon feeling a little bit more as well. And that is also something I usually start with cookies. I do fully agree with that, Chokru. Make yourself comfortable with songwriting as well. Yeah, 100%. That came in the session about music as well, beginning with music. Make yourself comfortable in the space that you're writing in. Sugar helps for sure. Beans, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. So cookie anthem when? Yes, Rue, when is the cookie anthem coming? Let us know. Let us know. So yeah, if you have a pen and a paper with you right now, be sure to grab it because we're gonna get worky. We're gonna do stuff. Um, Waking up at 2 a.m. also helps. Does that extend to general chaos? 100%. Um, so yeah, it can be, you can start at any place. I've written songs with when I started writing with the lyrics first and then went to put music on it. I have songs where I started with a melody, like for the chorus, and let everything else flow together after that. It can be anything. Just make sure that you're in the beginning comfortable with what you're starting at, so you don't get like too disappointed when nothing comes out, or that you don't get like too demotivated because nothing comes out. Are we going to write a song about dragon who hoards cookies? We definitely can. We definitely can. Um, okay, so how do we start? Where does the inspiration come from? If any of you already have written songs, where do you feel your inspiration for those songs come from? Um, I feel for me, it could be anything like emotions and feelings, daily life. You can go outside as we are right now, go have a holiday and write songs there all week, all time long, or you can just like write whenever you feel like you're comfortable doing so. Um, you can write about broad themes that are coming up in the world. You can write about art if you go to a museum and stare at a picture, you can try to write about what that picture brings out of you. For example, have great coffee, clever, and whiskey, arc as well. So you can write about anything. I had at some point I had like a little songwriting challenge for myself that I put out on a Saturday stream, and Rain suggested to write about the polar vortex, and so we did. We wrote a song about coffee and not being able to get coffee because there was super much snow out there everywhere. Thank you, Rain, by the way, for that challenge. So you can literally write about anything. Um, that's yeah, you can write about anything, but how do you actually do that? That's what we come to next. Um, and there's a few techniques that can help to write about anything, to write and connect things that make sense together, that can help you to get that kind of creative being brought flowing. Um, I'm gonna catch up on this on the chat. Or a dragon who wants to hoard cookies but fails because they keep eating them all. That is lovely, Spy Guy. I love that. Yes, we can definitely write a song about that. So what we are going to do right now is a little bit of an association game. Um, I'm gonna say a word, and you're gonna say a word in the chat, and the next person has to say a word. The first word that comes up with that word, that comes up in chat. So if I say, for example, dino, the next word in the chat has to be the first thing that you think about when you think about dino. Um, that was a lot of fun to listen to. I'm glad, Rain. I'm glad. So association games are fun because they keep your brain active and make you think about associations that you would not think about when you're just sitting down and trying to write a song and you're thinking, okay, what works with that? What rhymes on that? How do I manage to write a sentence there? If you're not sure how to write a song and how to connect the topic with different words that connect to that, it might be a good idea to like use one of those techniques to get more comfortable with words or with topics and to see the whole more area of what the song entitles, or what the song is. I'm reconnecting again the chat because it disappeared for a while. Um, um, Whiskey and hot dog water, the oddest combination that say it's a remedy, but it's causing my frustration. Love that. Love that arc. Danny is what the spy guy gets. Says, last time we did this, Jomsy came in and asked if Chad was having a stroke. 100%. Yeah. So, Rhino? Rhino. So, the idea is, we say the first word that comes up with the next word that is in chat. So if I think about Rhino, I think about video editing. um, and that way you can keep on associating things and you can put those things into a mind map. So that's where we're going next is Rhino thank. Yeah, 100%. So what we're going to go to next is, let me see, this part is not gonna be in the video, but afterwards I need to figure out how to put the thing there, and I don't know if it works, but we'll see. Um, Switching to the whiteboard. I don't know if I have to. Wait, it's not popping up. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So usually I would say we'll put this into a mind map, but I'm not getting it like put up for some reason. But I think everyone knows what a mind map is, right? You write dino in the middle, and you have like different kind of um oh no, PC, don't crash. Thank Panzerkampfwagen. What is that? Oh, what is that word? I don't understand that word. So I'm gonna leave the whiteboard out for now because it seems to not connect, and I have um um dino in the middle. Yeah. So I'm gonna just like write it down for a second and then put it on screen. Like what we saw now is Dino and Danny and Rhino. Rhino connected to Tank. Uh, Buzz Potato. um, and this is a mind map. I don't know if you can see it well. I hope you can. But like this is a mind map, and you just start connecting things that work together. Like when you think of Dino, you think of the Dinobus, you think of Basement Ghost, you think of Haii, you think of Dinosaur Sip and Dino Sit, and you can connect all these elements together. And when doing so, you might be able to form sentences with things that you've connected together in a mind map, um, that make you connect them so that it works together. Wait, I just said that, didn't I? So yeah, that is how I guess everyone knows what mind maps are, right? Or am I mistaken about that? If not, it's like you make a whole web out of words that connect together, and the association game is a really good tool to do that and to get yourself thinking about connections that you might not think about. When I thought about like chaos, I thought about so many dinos and jesters and friends from our community that I got a whole song of words together connected. Exactly like that, Dermo. Yeah, exactly like that. Um, so you connect all those words, and then when you look at that mind map, you might be able to connect some dots together and find a story, because Remember when I said, I don't know if I said it, but like with words, you try to tell a story. With the lyrics, you try to tell a story. So you try to connect all these dots and try to tell a story with all the words that you've said, that you've thought about. And that can be a good way to kind of get those association, get those topic ideas grow together so that you feel more like you're telling a story instead of putting words and sentences together to mix and match them. Because what you're trying to do with songwriting, you're trying to tell a story through a song, right? Um, so mind mapping, association game. If you still feel like you have not a great idea about how your words and feelings get together, a mood board can also work. I recommend using maybe Canva for it because you can drag and drop images in that. And mood boards can kind of, just like an art piece in a museum, can um, make you feel emotions. A mood board can also kind of put together all these words and things from your story that can bring out emotions for yourself as well. So you can put them together in what comes afterwards, the music or the lyrics or whatever of sequence you're using. Mood boards can kind of visualize what you want the song to feel like and help you connect with those feelings better as a songwriter as well to put them afterwards in the song. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. But yeah, those are a few techniques that can help with like the topics and getting an overall feel of what your song what you want your song to be. As said earlier again, it doesn't work for everyone. Some people get really frustrated with mind mapping, with mood boards. If that is you, don't do it. Don't use it because like it's not your purpose is not to get frustrated by the songwriting. It's to get a song at the end of the road, right? Um, or to tell a story. uh, I hope it's still going on because yeah, okay, cool. Um, it can also be good to limit and challenge yourself with like things you might not think about at first. For example, like you can start with like a huge theme. I did that when I went to songwriting session last month. I had like 5 sessions where I learned a lot of stuff, and I started with a mind map, and my main theme was comfort zone, which is like there's so many things you can connect with comfort zone, but that also makes it really hard because if you're like too broad, it might cause you to not be able to slim it down to a smaller team to tell your story about. So conclusion about that was I had 3 songs from my mind map that I made from that one big team, and I had to slim it down to make a song that worked together because otherwise it would be too vague and too gigantic and everywhere all over the place. So it might help to limit yourself down and say, okay, I'm not gonna take a huge element like comfort zone or like, I don't know. For example, so many songs are written about love. Like, if you take love as a big thing, you can write millions of things, but you're not gonna be able to put it all in one kind of song because there's so many ways of talking about it. Or you can, if that is just like a thing that you feel like I limit myself too much and I want to look at a broader side, you can just do that. Love is cookies. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Write a song about love and cookies, Chuguru. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. What can also help is to write gibberish because a lot of times we feel like we have to connect things and we have to write a story that works well, but sometimes that also can limit you in trying out new connections or new things. So if you feel like you're too much in your head about it and you feel like that inner voice is saying like this is not great, this is not good, no, don't do this, no, 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 this doesn't work together, try to write the worst song that you can with the worst connections that you can. Maybe that is just an idea because like we tend to go very much in the idea of our song has to work all the time, all the ways together. But most songwriters have written like thousands of songs, maybe not thousands, but like at least 100 of songs that they tried to write before they got like to a point that they feel like, okay, I could use this, or I could write something with this that is useful to work on more, you know? Songwriting is a skill just like anything else. It's like learning the guitar, learning to sing, learning to arts. It's a skill, and you have to practice it. And sometimes we get very much in our head. So writing gibberish, things that might not connect at all, just like connecting bicycle with like uh airplane. The bicycle feels like an airplane. There's a few artists out there who wrote songs like that do not connect at all, but in some certain way, when people hear them, they do connect after all. Exactly like that, Sugar. Yes, E.T. Phone Home. Um, so try to write something that doesn't use any rules at all. It's good to limit yourself, but it's also good to break your limits and just try it out and see what works for you. Because again, songwriting is not a set science. You have to dino science it for yourself and see what works for you. Um, but that's a few tips and tricks that could help to where to start, how to get like an idea for a song, and how to get an overall feel of where you might want to go with a song. Um, okay, so let's get further into it. We kind of started with the topic. That's done. We have a topic. We have dinos and cookies and love. Love for cookies. Dinos love cookies. Yes, right? Dinos love cookies and bean broth. Um, then we get to the song structure. Song structure. How will you build up the song? how how is it gonna flow? How is the song gonna come together in a certain structure? In songs are weird soup 100%, yeah. So but there is a structure in songs. Most songs have like a verse, a chorus, and maybe a bridge, sometimes a pre-chorus, sometimes a break, sometimes an intro or an outro. But these are song structures that make how your song connects together. Because in a verse, for example, you kind of start off with what is this song about. You set the scene. You kind of visualize in your song what you're writing about, but you're not telling everything yet. um I may or may not have coffee and cookies for breakfast yesterday. That is awesome song. I love that. We can definitely write about that already. 100%. Did I just hear someone say we are out of cookies and out of coffee? Are we out of cheese too? Because, like, ah, out of cheese cookies, out of cheese cookies. Are we out of cheese cookies? No, no, no. Just yesterday, it was a rather large cookie. I would have eaten a second one, but even I probably shouldn't. That's awesome, Stormin. I would have eaten a second one too. Um, Song structures have unless you sleep token, in which case, buckle in, you don't know where we're going, but you'll like it. Yeah, so everything about songwriting is about making choices and deciding what you want to do with the song or where you want to go with the song. And song structures are just like that. Some people start with a verse and then a chorus and then a verse and a chorus and a bridge and a chorus. Some people start with like a verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, bridge, verse. It's all. We have a song that it starts off with a verse and ends with a verse. But it's the choice of what you want to do. A verse tells you the scenery, tells you what it's about, kind of progresses the story a little bit as well, from beginning to the end of the verses. In the chorus, you kind of have the point of the song. You have the catchy part that sticks in the dinos on people's brains, and it kind of is the part where you come to a conclusion of what you're trying to tell, or where you kind of come to the point of your whole storytelling. The bridge is the turnaround. The bridge is where you kind of get surprised by what the end is of the song, or where you kind of surprised of about hey, I didn't expect that. Something like that is what a bridge does. A pre-chorus or a build-up builds up towards the chorus, builds up towards where your point of the song or your story comes out in the song. Um, and this is just the structure. Some people decide to break the structure, and that's totally fine too. There are so many structures that you could use, but like these are the main ones. You probably find mostly verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Um, and that is what a lot of people tend to use for their songwriting. When I started out writing songs, it was also verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, chorus. Just because that is how most songs kind of tend to be, right? um, but as you say, Clever, um, song structures are there to be structures are there to be broken as well. And if you choose to not stick to one of these, that's totally up to you. It's just one of the techniques that can help to make it kind of to that can help in the storytelling, to have the flow of the song go around, but it's totally up to the songwriter. Chorus, bridge, 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 chorus. And we also usually tend to skip bridges, so uh okay, we're gonna go analyzing. We're gonna go analyzing. So if you have your pen and your paper with you, we're gonna see at the song "The World Wouldn't Be the Same" from Danny. The rush. This is rush. It is rush. It's surprise after surprise after surprise after surprise after surprise. Exactly. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at "The World Wouldn't Be the Same." And please let me know what the song structure of this is. This is a beautiful song written by Danny, by the way, friends. So if you're not familiar with "The World Wouldn't Be the Same," I think you all are, but if you're not, be sure to go check it out on YouTube. Uh, I dub your song "Bridge Over Troubled Chorus." I love it, love it. So yeah, this is "The World Wouldn't Be the Same." So if you go analyze the song, you see that it starts off with an intro. Um, it starts off with an intro. The world wouldn't be the same without dinosaurs, without bubble. 100% clever. Yes. Um, so we start off with an intro to kind of set the scene, to kind of get the mood of the music in. And then we go to the verse. We all got that voice inside our head saying, "You can't do this, you can't do this," but you overcame. You did the thing, showing all of us we can do this, we can do this. So, as you see in the verse, we all got that voice inside our head. You set the scene of what the song is about. It's about that voice in our head that keeps on saying that we can't do this, that keeps on saying, "You cannot do this," but you overcame and you did the thing, showing all of us that we can do this. So this is the scene setting of the song. Um, you see how all the word sentences in the verse kind of work together to tell that part of the story and kind of set the scene and the storytelling of the song. Um, and then in the chorus, we go, "Oh, the world wouldn't be the same without you, dear, without you in it. No, the world wouldn't be the same without you here, without you now." So here we go to the point of the story. The world wouldn't be the same if you were not in it. So it's not about that inner voice fully, totally, completely. That is just the scene setting. But the world wouldn't be the same if I wasn't experiencing it with you, right? So that is what the point of the story is. Like, I don't know, my connection is gone again, so I'm just gonna reconnect that. Yay, Wi-Fi! uh, so let's hope that works again. Because I feel like I'm missing a bit of input here because of the Wi-Fi. Come on, internet, you've got this. You've got this. You got this. But yeah, so this way you can already see. Also, Danny's an amazing singer-songwriter, amazing storyteller, as you already all know. But like with just a few words, you can tell a whole story that works well together, that fits together, that everyone can relate to and connect to as well. Um, the piano gets a bit cut by the filters. We can still hear it a little bit, but thought I'd let you know. Oh no, oh no! It's because I wanted to have it through Ableton, but it's not fully working. Because the sound is not coming from OBS, but because of my mic. So oops. You can do it. Do it for Bran. For Bran, exactly. Do it for Bran. You can definitely do it for the alliance. Uh, Danny's songs are great for song analysis. 100% Franco. I have a few in here just because they're amazing to analyze songs in. And Danny's a very amazing, really amazing singer songwriter with like so much elements that you can analyze and that I could use into this presentation. So thank you, Danny, for writing amazing songs that we can connect to and that we can analyze. Um, Danny's songs are great for most things. 100% true, clever. Uh, Still uninterrupted, amazing. Okay, that's good because my iPad is just sometimes reconnecting, and then I feel like I'm not seeing the chat anymore because yay. Uh, Danny, don't go hiding. You're amazing. You're amazing. An inspiration to us all. Um, we all know, but it's always great to make Danny blush. 100%. Imagine writing songs thousands of people all over the world can relate to, Danny. Exactly, clever. 100% that. Yeah. So that is what we got so far, and then you have an interlude, and an interlude is to kind of give the instrumental tone of a song, and also have a little bit of in between the first part and the next part, because then we have a second verse. I can only hope you see your impact. I can only hope you realize. I can only hope you see your path that you forged for all of us. You forged for all of us. So as we had in the first story, we were talking about that inner voice that we all experience and that we all feel like um, decides that we can't do the things. Then in the chorus, you have the world wouldn't be the same without you in it. So it kind of, that's the point of the story. And then you go to the second verse where you talk about, I hope that you can see your impact because my world wouldn't be the same without you in it. But without you, but it's this world because you are in it. So the second verse goes to, I only hope you can see your impact, and I only hope you can realize, and I only hope you see the path that you forged for all of us, and you forged for all of us. So that way you start seeing, okay, this story is about the person that the song is for, that to tell them you are amazing and I appreciate you so much and your impact is so much bigger than you can then you can see yourself because we all got that voice, but the world wouldn't be the same without you in it. So you see how it all connects together. Amazing song to analyze, Danny. Thank you so much. And now we go back to the chorus because that is the point of the story. That is the point. The world wouldn't be the same without any of you in it. And then there's a little outro that goes that to go out and Danny, this is your song, okay? But thank you, I appreciate it. But also, so we have an intro verse, chorus, interlude verse, chorus, outro. In the world wouldn't be the same. And oh, there goes the music again. Metronome. Um, boom. There's a, the connection of this song is that it can is in the words, but it's also in how it's sang, and it's in so many elements. But it's also because it works so well together, and because all of these small elements form a bigger song together. Um, The ability to connect everything like this so well and so smoothly is something I admire so much. 100% rate, 100%. Because I also feel the same as as you say. So it's not easy to make a connection between all these things and make it work together so naturally and make it so easy for people to connect with as well. Because yeah. um, I'm gonna quietly ignore that. Thank you, clever. Um, next part of the elements of a song, tonality and music is a part where music theory can be helpful, but it definitely doesn't have to be because there's a lot of music theory and it is. Where is the sound coming from? Did I click a thing? No, stop piano. The piano ghost is on it. Okay, we're going back. Hopefully it stops. um, you don't think we hear anything good? Because like it started playing and I was like distracted because of it. Um, okay, so tonality and music. Where do you start? Because there's a lot of musical elements to a song. For example, like the instrument. The instrument, we already touched on this a little bit earlier, but the instrument that you choose to write a song with makes the sound of your song sound different. If I would play Island on piano, it would sound fully different if I would try to play it on a ukulele, for example. Um, that's also one of these things that can help to change up if you're stuck in a certain pattern of writing. Switch up your instrument because it might give you a fully different kind of feel of or song. Uh, some Discord filters. Wait, there's Discord filters on. Uh, I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Noise suppression is getting in the way of the instrument sound. Oh, oh no. It might just be because it's acoustic, I guess, because it's not connected because of things, but I don't know. Ah, no piano then. I don't know how to fix that. We are learning Squad. Yeah, yeah. We are learning how to Discord. I don't know Eddie how Discord works. Whoopsie. Uh, get learned, nerds. Exactly, Ark. Exactly. If you would like to write a song with an automaton, exactly, Rue, you can definitely try it. Do it. Do it. I'm expecting one with the with Beep. Um, it's all right. No worries. It was good enough. No worries at all, Dermo. It happens. Technology is technology. It happens. It happens. Fine. It's fully fine. It happens, and I can just like do it a cappella without the piano. That was just a thing that I tried to implement because I was probably more fun to do that. But like, um, I don't know how to fix it right now, so I don't think I can in the at the minute because we still have a bit to go as well, and we're already 1 hour in. So, uh, time, where do you go so quickly? So yeah, choose an instrument. Switch up your instruments if you feel like you're stuck in a certain pattern and you can't get out of it. Um, another thing is chord progressions. You see this little graph at the bottom with the Roman 1, small 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, no worries at all, Franco. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Time is a weird soup. It is. It's definitely a weird soup, 100%. So yeah, chord progressions are made up of a scale. I do. I would suggest you go back to look to the Learn Squad about music theory, and maybe the one about getting started with music as well. If you want to catch up on that, but music theory is definitely not a must. You can just play around with your instrument and try to play and figure out what's going on at the spot as well. That is definitely all right. There are a few websites that can help you find some chord progressions. I think I put one in the document on the Google Drive as well. Chord something that I put in there that can help to find chord progressions to sing or to make a song about more easier. But if you do know what a scale is, for example, the one that you see at the bottom is C major. You have a scale from C to C, for example, and all the notes in between have a chord. And if you just put them all together, you get this sequence of these Roman numbers. And these numbers you can switch places to get like a chord progression that kind of works, that you can fit together, that makes a song. Now the piano would have been nice. I don't know if you can hear it, but like for example, most known songs are songs that are written in the four chord songs. So they use four chords that are very common to use. Um, and these come back and they have been used so many times because they sound catchy, they sound nice, and you can do so many things with them with just the same four chords. For example, you probably can't hear the piano, but like it might work if I sing a little bit with it, but like I don't know. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, whisper words of wisdom, let it be. All of me loves all of you. Love your cuts and all your na 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 na. I don't remember the words. But I found myself brought to life. I don't remember the words, but like they all use the same chord progressions. If you change it up to, for example, that was the progression of 1 5 4 6 4, which is one of the most used ones. You have the 1 5 6 4. Um, then you also have, like, for example, this one. Every breath you take, every move you make, da 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 da, I'll be watching you. Or this girl is on fire, this girl is on fire. You get my point, right? So all these chords, all the songs are based on the same chord progression that you've heard like um 20,000 times, but you're not when you're not into music, or you don't know how songs are built together, you might not hear that they'll use the same kind of progression that is coming back all the time. Like I don't know if it's coming back or if it's coming through, but like I hope it does. But if it's not, that's fine too. Um, Main clue of this story is chord progressions. They have been used so many times before, and it's not plagiarism because everyone keeps using them, and it's okay because they are just like every pop song these days consists of you're getting piano. Okay, perfect. Um, so every song consists of these chords, and they might be put in a different order, or the 2 and the 4 might be switched out, or the 3 and the 6 might be switched out, might be taking its other place. Um, but the way you set those chords in a progression may help you form a melody that could work together well. I have a few of those that I can share later on as well. But like the main ones that are used are the one that I said before. I don't know where I put it now, but like 1 5 6 4, 1 6 4 5, 6 4 1 5, and then 1 4 5 1 5 4 2 4 5 1. It's based on the 251 that has been a part of the jazz music and of blues scales and stuff like that. I don't know if that's 100% the thing, but like it originates from that, and it's been used so many times in different ways. But that's also how the fourth chord songs came together, and that you can, because you can play around with that, but that kind of forms how the music in your story forms the story as well, and your storytelling gets reflected in the story, and you can put the right chords that give the feelings that you want to create with the lyrics and the structure of the song that you want to bring in the song, and playing around with those numbers of chords. Like, for example, if you put a DM, the second one, together with like the 5 and then the 4, you get like a very more sadder feeling. But it's still all in major. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you can play around with. If you really want to get into this, you can always look back at the theory that I listed here up. What notes am I playing? What scale am I in? And what are chord progressions? And how can I use them in which orders to create what kind of feels? But it's not a must. You can just like look up some chords and try playing around with that and see if it works. Or just play chords at the piano and start playing around and make a song with that. That's also definitely all right to do. Um, we need common chord progression dice, 100%. That would be a great idea, Toguru. That would be a great idea, because just with like the topic and the things that we had earlier, it might be a great idea to just like roll a dice and make a song with the chords that you have there. I have used, like, I think the link is on there as well, but they changed with the website. But like a chord progression generator to get me some chords that I barely use, and made myself write something with that, just to kind of get myself out of my comfort zone and do something that I'm not used to do. Um, you leveled up talking about dice. Wow, that is so fitting, clever. That is so fitting. That is so fitting. I love that. Anyway, harmony, main melody is the main melody is usually what you sing, but you can also have riffs or have like melodies in between that are also the main melody. If you have saxophone instead of singer, most of the times the saxophone also will be playing the main melody. Um, you also have beat, like most songs are in 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But there's also songs that are in 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those are more like a waltz feel. Waltz feel, is that waltz? Is that the same in English? I don't know. But like the dancing feel, the waltz feel, is in 3/4. You have 2/4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You have 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's been a while, but those are different kind of beats. Again, you don't have to know this theory, but it can help to know what you're doing. But if you're like using a DAW, a digital audio station, instead working station instead of an instrument, you can decide your beats in there that you want to use, for example. Um, or you can be ginger and change the time signature every other bar. 100% true too. These are just places where you can start, or where you can start with a beat and just like start putting words on that and melodies on that and then harmonies on that. You can start with like a main melody and put harmonies on that and put a beat on after that. And the starting point is never set. It's what you feel like works. But the way these elements collide and combine is more important than where you start. The starting point can change. Again, music theory can help, but it's definitely not a must. But if you have any questions about music theory, I would love to create a few videos about it, or send you some information about it, or explain more about that as well. So feel free to DM me about any of the music theory questions that you have. but it's not the main focus right now. So we're gonna move over this pretty quickly because music theory is very broad. There's so many things you can learn about it. But if you have any questions about it, feel free to let me know, and I would love to make a video about it or explain it more in detail in DM. But yeah, there's a whole lot of things, and you can write music without music theory. My first songs I wrote without even knowing without even knowing what these chord progressions were. So I just do chord progressions of a song that I knew, and I put my own words on it because the chord progressions most of the times they come back in other songs. So then you have also dynamics and timbre, and that is the feel that you get with the music. For example, the if you play it loud or softer, or how very varied you play in between loud and soft. The timbre is you have for example a vocal timbre, and a vocal timbre can is different from every singer. But you can have that with the whole overall sound of the music as well. So it can be a sad feeling, it can be a happy feeling, but like the different elements of the sounds adding towards that can make it also make it a different feel of timbre as well. So that is tonality in music. We're gonna go back to analyzing. Here we have Island from Danny, also another gem of songs to analyze. Uh, I don't know, clever maybe. I would love to teach music, but I don't know if I can make a jazzy school of music. That would be cool though. But like, anyway, so what is the chord progression that we see in here? Anyone who knows about like the different kind of chord progressions? We have. Oh, is that the right? No. Not just a girl, and I won't stay inside. All the things that I see will make me run and hide. But all I hear is still should be alone. Yeah, I should live in fear. What can we get out of this song that we talked about just now about tonality and music? So timbre isn't Danny's basement walls. Wait, timber. Timber isn't Danny's basement walls. I don't know, is it? It could be, but it also could be the sound of the whole thing. Um, so yeah, we have the first chord of the scale. I think I didn't fully analyze it myself. I should have, but like I think it's the first chord of the scale because I think it's in D major. So that is the first one. Then on the inside we have the sixth one. And then we go to the fourth one to go to the fifth in the scale of seven chords. But also because it's a piano, it feels a little bit less happy, I guess, because I'm playing it slower than the original is, and because the ukulele is a very happy instrument, timbre-wise and rhythm-wise as well. I'm not playing like so the way you play it and the way you um the instrument that you play it, the way you play the beat, the way you combine the instruments and the timbre and the harmonies. At the next part, we have where the little canon thingy madingy starts. Where wait, not here yet, but like here, and in the chorus with verse two, you have the little canon thing happening where it goes together. Um, so those kind of things also again make the feel of the song that you connect with, and make the tone and the music and the rhythm all work together to make it like, hey Damon, good to see you, welcome in. Make it more like whole, because if it was just the text, that would be super awesome too. But then there would not be the ukulele that sounds very happy, that adds to the feel of the hey, I can't live alone, I can't live in fear, we can all be loved on the spinning sphere. If we all get hurt and run away, well, those holes in our heart, they won't go away. They say you should be an island, and I say, will that make me happy? They say you should be an island, and I say, why do I feel empty? So this kind of is like the thing that we already talked about earlier. Because of the ukulele, it makes the whole sound feel happy, while the sad is more like, hey, why should I feel like this? I don't think I should feel like this, maybe, but also like, why I don't feel like I don't think this is right, but also, why do you say that? I don't know. This is a combination of things, but like song analyzing really helps to start to understand the different elements of why certain things are placed in a certain way, and that still varies from what the singer-songwriter wants to do with the song, or how the intention of it is, and how it connects to the audience as well. But it can make you see the different kind of elements work together in how, and understand how songs are built up as well. um so yeah, that is Island. um I just realized Islands might make pretty good ragtime number. Awesome, Clem. Awesome. So you can also get like insights of that, like that. I like how the chorus of Island doesn't rhyme, but it feels like it does. Yeah, 100%. Like we're gonna get to the rhyme very soon, but like happy and empty, that little I, that is the same feel. Um, fear and sphere, we're gonna come to that right away, but like rhyming is a very important thing of songs, but like there's this thing called indirect rhyming, and that is a very great tool for writing songs as well, because I write very direct with rhymes sometimes, and I feel that makes my songs a little bit less, it makes it catchy, but it also feels like it's a little bit more like it could be deeper, like, or more. mm, yeah, I'm gonna come back to that, because like but someone should tell the songwriter that she's a very smart writer. 100% clever, 100%. um yes, yes. um so yeah, where do you start with lyrics? There's a lot of things with lyrics that can make songwriting hard. um Definitely because of inner voice. I was just a second ago, my inner voice was talking and saying like, I feel like my direct rhymes are not great because they have make it sound very childish. um so that inner voice is very much in my case very much there when I'm trying to words with songwriting. I feel the other parts kind of come more naturally. I don't dare to say, but like also, um, it my inner voice is more there when I try to write words and try to like connect all the sentences in the story within the verse and the chorus and all the different song structures together in the songwriting. For me, that is has always been the hardest part. Um, and knowing what to write, the topic that we had earlier, can be already a big help with the mind map, with the mood board, can help to bring the feelings that you get from the mood board or from the mind map, or the connections that you there made, can help to bring words into the feeling of the song. But there are more tips and tricks that can help to write the song in a certain way or in a certain structure. For example, rhyming structures. As you already mentioned earlier, Clever, rhyming is something that is a part of a lot of songs, and most of the times it's not direct rhyming, but indirect rhyming. And what exactly is that? We will come to that in a second. But like, if you rhyme, for example, there's those structures that make it feel more natural. A B A B C C C C C A B A B D D D D D, which means you kind of, every letter is kind of a rhyming sequence. I'm gonna go see here because I have another one, Invader, also from Danny. If you go see here, beautiful stranger without your with your beautiful words, the most beautiful voice that I've ever heard. This is also a really gorgeous, like, indirect rhyme because it's word and heard is not like it has the same sound, but it's words. The S makes it that it's indirect, and then it makes it more flowy, and that it sounds more, how do you say that, um more connected. Words is, for example, I'm going to call that A. Heard is similar but not fully similar to words, so I'm going to call that A accent. Words are hard, 100% even. Blurred is similar to heard in sound as well, and I would say that would rhyme more directly with heard than with words. Um, Making kicking horse coffee and it feels necessary. Awesome, Danny. Bring us some coffee too. And that world is like, it's similar again, but not fully similar. So I call that A double accent. When you then go to the chorus, invade my brain is B, because it's not similar to the A's that we had in the verse. Then we go to haze, which is not similar to any of the other things that we had either, so that's C. Then brain is the same as the first sentence, so that is brain is the same A, which also works really well because you repeat the first sentence, which works immensely amazing to be catchy. And then days rhymes with the haze. So you have the rhyme there that connects haze and days with the same brain. So it makes it like come out even stronger because you have the recognition, and then something is different, but makes it like surprising that it's different and not the same in that kind of sense, you know? Um, it's so much easier to rhyme when you ignore the dictionary. Yeah, a dictionary can help, but it can also be working against. But I have put a rhyme zone in a website, rhyme zone in the sheet as well on the drive. If you are struggling with like finding indirect or direct rhymes, you can always use tools like that. I use them as well a lot of times. I have this little book that I can look up words in, um, but sometimes it's not necessary. Then its land rhymes remind me of Maynard. What's Maynard? I don't think I know that. But yeah, so indirect rhymes usually work best. Or you have a lot of songs that don't use any rhyme at all and that are just like every sentence ends on a different word. A favorite rhyming scheme of hard rock is AC/DC. A favorite European is ABBA, 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 ABBA. That's 100% too. Yeah. Like I've used the ABBA, 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 ABS. These are just a few you can play around with. But like a lot of songs use rhyming schemes, but not all of them do, and that is all right. Um, yeah, this favorite is Boba. Definitely Boba. Yeah. Um, so you can also write directly or use metaphors and symbolization. Um, they just started doing the grass next door. I'm so sorry about the sound. It's good weather, so I suppose that's a part of. You can't hear me, or you can't hear the. Oh no. Yeah, well, okay, you can hear me fine. All right, perfect. So the PC is noise canceling, I think. So that's great. Cool. Perfect. Love it. Hi Riley, good to see you. Good to see you. Um, so yeah, rhyming structures. There's a lot of different ones, and it's again up to choice if you want to use one or not. If you do use one, I would recommend using indirect ones and not every sentence. But some people do it like the whole chorus is the same, and that's fine, and it works. And using metaphors or symbolization is a good way to use and speak in visuals instead of in direct sentences, to create that feeling and that visual element that people see when they hear a song as well, to create that connection. For example, Danny used a very few very few awesome ones in here in this little paragraph. um Beautiful Stranger um is also like, it's about invader, it's about an invader, right? But the way Danny writes around that and never uses the word invader is beautiful, because like it uses a lot of synonyms that describe an invader, that describe someone who is not like um part of the the biotope right now, or I don't know what the word is, but like it's also like an angel, glowing and perfect, which goes back to the angel. Beautiful voice, all those words that describe but are not saying who or what it's about. 100%. um and then you have the part where you can invade my brain, where invade is Nanny, come back, Nanny, come back. We're complimenting your gorgeous work on this. You're awesome. You're awesome. So yeah, invade my brain. All these thoughts inside of this haze, you can invade my brain. All these thoughts inside of these days. It's describing, but it's not saying directly what it's about, because that leaves it open for interpretation, both for viewer and to have more of a mystical, mysterious kind of vibe there as well. Derma's coming to get you, Daddy. So it's beautifully done with the metaphors and the symbolization of every word that you use, and that is beautiful to see. And that is, if you look at a song like, okay, now I'm gonna take this song. This is one of my favorite songs, and I'm gonna analyze how it's put together. You learn a lot about how people use words, how people use rhymes, people use metaphors, um, how it all how singer songwriters like Danny uses it to connect the whole story together with the words and the sound and the song structure and everything together, so that it works indeed, like it creates the perfection of it. um and then also point of view, to who. Is it a generalization? If we go analyze Invader again, we see it's sang towards that beautiful stranger with that beautiful voice. Is that beautiful stranger an angel and not of this world? It's not towards yourself. You sing it towards someone else, or in this case, Invader. Um, and Danny sings it from Danny to the Invader, right? So that is the perspective of how you sing the song from a certain perspective to a certain perspective. So that is also one of the elements that can help to make the song feel more like a story instead of like a complementation of sentences put together, you know? Um, exactly, David. She took our compliments to her and turned them onto us. Yeah, 100%. And then one more thing in lyrics and performances of like lighting up words in your sentences. What words in your sentence are most of or more important is also another one that is very that could be useful to take in mind when analyzing or writing a song. Um, Beautiful stranger, with your beautiful words. It's the with you is not as important as the beautiful stranger and the beautiful words. The most beautiful voice that I've ever heard. So the most beautiful voice, it's about the voice. that I've ever heard. Are you an angel? The are you? That is just filling space. You make it flow to the angel. My vision is blurred. So your accents are on words that are important in the sentence. And you also put words in that make it more natural to go to that word that is more important in your sentence. So those are the things around lyrics that I would say could help to write a song, because if you just start sitting down and writing, you're not always thinking about, okay, how am I gonna rhyme this, or how am I gonna describe this feeling, or this creature, or this how am I gonna tell this story? You- It's just like a whole bunch of things you have to do to make a song feel whole. And if you break it down in little parts, you might be able to see more like, okay, this is how I want to create my song. Oh, yeah, this is how I want to do that. This is how I want to do that. So, this is about lyrics. In the next part, for example, you have again beautiful creature, beautiful eyes. You feel like heaven. Back the symbolization to about the angel. In your arms I've died. Also symbolization, supernatural, unearthly, all these symbolizations that describe that one scene or the one setting, but like not directly. um, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So yeah, that is the analyzations of the song so far. I kind of forgot to say with tonality and music, with like the main melody, you can write out how it goes. So I haven't really said anything about that. I planned to, but I forgot when we were there. But for example, if you go, beautiful creature with your beautiful eyes, you feel just like heaven. In your arms I've died. You can draw out the melody that you're doing, that you're singing, or your main melody to kind of also make it feel less the same all the time. Because the arranging of a song, the power of that is in having the same parts come back but changing stuff slightly so that it feels different, but it's still kind of in the same vibe as what you did before. So that is also something that I wanted to talk about, but I kind of forgot earlier when we were there. Now, Danny's next single, I'm inherently magical fey creature and you're all going to die. That sounds very, very, very legit, clever. Very legit. And then the last part of this is rationality or emotionality or both, because this is something I struggle with myself a lot. Like, there's so many things to songwriting, and I've started writing out of a very rational kind of view. This is something I made up myself. This is not something I found anywhere. The rest I have kind of taken and implemented from different spaces. This is something I came up with myself. This is like something I struggled a lot with when I was started out writing. So I used to write with like mind mapping and coming from a broad space of uh, a broad space of inspiration and wanting to implement too many things and being mostly like using all the tools to write a song. And only recently I started writing about from emotion. Um, and I'm just gonna like kind of explain what I mean with like emotional writing, rational writing, and then a combination of both. So emotional writing is writing on the spot where you sit on the piano, um, where you don't think too much about it. You write from the heart. You make all fit together from how it comes out that moment, which we have done a few times on stream as well. Um, Music and sentences and words and all everything flows together very naturally, and it comes like you're in the songwriting mood. You everything works well, you don't have to think about anything, everything goes smoothly. You're in that vibe of music writing, and you just have something in your system that you want to write out. It's just there and you don't have to do much about it. Then you have rational writing, where you write on set times. You force yourself to write. Kind of, you say to yourself, okay, now I'm gonna write a song in 2 hours and gonna see what comes out of it while using as much tools and structures that I can, using as much of knowledge that I've gathered, and using as much of the skills as I can, and put it all together in one thing. Um, it is written without an emotional connection to the topic or what you're writing about, and or if you do have an emotional connection, you look at it from a whole far distance to it, and you're not as connected with it as when the feelings just arrive and you're just like writing it there at the moment. So it's where there is a big distance between what you're writing about and what you experience or what you want to put together. Um, you don't feel inspired, or you don't feel in a writing mood, but you feel like you should write a song at that moment. You can write a song at those moments, in but I have noticed that for me, I do need that emotional connection to have, remember again, connection, to have the connection with the audience at the moment that you want to create. That you also need a connection with the idea that you feel connected with. Otherwise, it's harder to make it all fit well together. Um, then he says, song ideas in the car when you're not emotionally well is terrible timing. 100% can agree with that. I mean, I don't ride in a car because I don't have a car, but like, um, I have tried writing songs when I was too close to it emotionally, and I couldn't write to it because there was not enough distance to what I was experiencing. I wanted to get it out, but I just couldn't write it out because I started crying when I tried. So that is not a good time to write, because like that means that at that moment you're probably need to listen to yourself a little bit first and get closer to yourself. Not a good time to write. 100% agree. Yeah. But also when you're like too rational about it and don't have anything you connect with the topic, it also might feel really hard because you feel like it's a must do, because you're like not connected to it yourself as all. So what I feel is the most interesting kind of writing that I've experienced in the past period of time that I've written songs. I feel emotional, irrational writing works kind of best. Like, you have this connection with the topic and with the thing that you want to create. You have this connection with oh no, my Wi-Fi just disappeared from the tablet. Um, so you have an emotional connection, but you have taken distance from the experience, or you have taken a little, you have like this connection, but it's not like you get fully overwhelmed by it the moment that you're writing about it. You've kind of worked through it a little bit, or you've kind of come closer to yourself about it, and you're able to connect to the item that you want to write about, but not so you get fully absorbed in it. Um, and you write like you have, if you start with the lyrics, you write the text and it seems to work pretty well together. It comes out naturally and it seems like it feels right. If you start with music, you start improvising with an instrument, for example the piano, and then you start writing on top of the chord progressions or the melody that you figured out. um, but then to make it all whole, you start using the tips and tricks and the tools to make all of that come together in a song. So I've noticed for me personally that works kind of the best, and that also creates the best kind of like songs that connect with people, but also with myself. Is to write from a topic that you have enough distance with, but also that you can dive into how you feel about it. Um, so that you still feel these emotions really well, but not get absorbed in it. But can also, that also helps it to put in words easier for me. So I don't know if that can help anyone else, but like, um, you, some parts come naturally. For example, the words, for example, the music, and other parts you might have to connect with tools or tips and tricks, like maybe making a mind map to get words together that come out naturally because of the feelings that you experience about a certain thing, Maybe you have like a chord progression that you generated by a generator because you're not fully sure about how to create something that works with it, but then you kind of naturally write the lyrics. Um, I'm missing a lot of text, but that is how I feel most. For example, analyzing songs that you want to kind of the song that inspire the song that you're writing as well, analyzing those songs and seeing what other people did with those songs, and trying to implement certain things rationally about an emotional thing that you wrote can be helpful. Um, okay, so let me catch up on chat. Um, wait, I missed the context here, but this is sort of true. You might not write a chart-topping song, but please do music when you're emotional. This is Riley. I'm not saying you shouldn't write music when you're emotional. I in the beginning of the session, I said like, um, every songwriter is going to say something different, and every songwriter is going to give different tools and is going to say that different kind of things work. So it's very important to see what works for you. Um, but it's also like, um, it is the best time for musicking. It depends. It depends. There's people who cannot write at all when they're emotional, and that is okay too. And drive safely, indeed. uh, you have to have an emotional connection, but sometimes it's good to have a little bit of time as well to go back to it. Because when I wrote a song about Sandy, I could not write it the moment that I heard the news, because that was like too much of a that was too close to me at that moment, and I could only write a song after some time when I got back to it, because emotions are there, but if you get like totally absorbed the the emotions, not everyone can put that into words at that moment, and that's okay. If you can, that is amazing. And then if you know for yourself that you can write emotionally and write it out and it helps you, definitely do so. Definitely do so. But like it's different for everyone, and that's also why I kind of made this kind of graph, because it is different for everyone, and some people are excellent songwriters when they don't use emotion at all. I feel like that's not me. I feel like I need to force it too much when I do that. But like, yeah, it's different for everyone, and you kind of got to figure out what works for you personally, because yeah, it's one of those things. Songwriting is a very big thing, and it's different for everyone, so it's really hard to put a course together about songwriting, because there are tons of tools, but it's also not all the tools might work for you, or might work for your friend, or might work for me, or work for anyone in here. So it's always a little bit like, that is how I was run. I was very late. Wait, I meant more so that you have to find an exit on the highway, and generally you are on your way to a place in the car, and then you're very late. Not speaking from personal experience at all. Um, I'm catching up. Empty school ruined me. That's all right. No worries at all, Riley. That's definitely all right. Um, it's just like there's a set idea about there should be tools about songwriting, but it's so different for every songwriter out there. Everyone writes differently, and that's the beautiful beauty of it as well. Like, there is no set way of writing a song. There is no set way of starting writing a song, and there's no set way to finish writing a song. Um, write a cool song, being late to something that won't matter in a month. But that's also that, yeah, that's I get that. But also, yeah, it's a topic we can discuss about. It's a topic that we can discuss about. But like, songwriting is such a personal thing, and it's yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Um. Musicians, no, musicians are always late. That's definitely true too. Yeah, I'm always late. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely on time when he meant to. I mean, yeah, we just arrive whenever we feel we can. I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Ah, but yeah, that was that. What now? Practice, practice, practice. Some tips to get to set yourself up for a successful um songwriting session. Get yourself a notebook, or maybe five, or a PC, or maybe five. I mean, no, five PCs, but like five documents. And write things down. I am not a person who can songwrite very well on PC. I need to write it down and cross things handwise, and rewrite things, and like make arrows and things to point that like that was no that was wrong. Danny has said on stream before that she has like this notebook where she brain dumps in, like exactly that one. Yes, Dino LearnSquad. That is a great way to get like words and sentences that are in your brain, but like you might not always have time to sit down. But like if you have this habit of having a notebook next to your bed, or having a notebook that you write in the morning or afternoon or in the evening once a day or a few times a week, and just like put everything that is in that moment is in your brain in a book, that can help to bring out some words, and then you can go look through it, and maybe there's some words when you're sitting down to write, you can pick them out and try um to to put sentences that you once had in your brain but you left them then for a while in that book. You can maybe implement them in another notebook where you are actually writing down and working on works in progress and finalizing things, and having different notebooks for different kind of ideas, like sudden ideas that pop up. I have a notebook next to my bed just in case I go to bed and I think I can't sleep because suddenly there's this idea of, hey, I like this sentence. That was the case with Fallback, with the chorus of Fallback. It suddenly was there, and I had a notebook next to my bed and I wrote that down, and it turned into a song. Because I had that idea and then I left it there for like ages until I sat down at some point and I was like, no, I'm gonna sit down and write a song. And and then that song came out of it. But like also I I love that idea, Notebook Life. Yes, 100%. I love the idea that you shared with us, Danny, about having like moments of just brain dumps. Like that helped me so much to just put things down and just like write things out sometimes. Not I don't do it every day, but like sometimes when I feel like there's a lot going on and I have time to breathe, I have a book that I just write things in, and at the end of the day I write things in that experiences about that day, and sometimes that can be an inspiration for a topic that you can write about, or even a sentence in a song. um, Now I understand why Jess doesn't sleep. Well, it's not always like that, or just sometimes I can't sleep either, just out of nowhere. Another thing is if you're like sitting down to record or to write if you're sitting down to write a song, record everything, because you might come up with a cool idea and then forget it, and then it's lost forever. So if I have an idea in my brain, like of a melody, I have a recorder on my phone to just record that if it's late at 1 or 3 a.m. and I'm thinking like, if I think of something like that, I record that at that instant. It's not beautiful. It's definitely not something that anyone wants to hear, but it is a way to record a certain melody that you had in your brain that you don't want to lose, because you might think, I'm not going to lose it. You're definitely going to lose it if you don't record it. And record everything. If you have a digital audio station, a working station, a DAW like Ableton or a Reaper. Reaper is free, by the way, for trying it out. So be sure to get Reaper. But like, if you, any DAW can do, just like let it record from beginning to the end of your session, and then go through it, delete everything that was useless. But you might have like a great idea that you will forget otherwise if you don't have it recorded. um that's a lot of things, but most of it is not useful, but there might be that one thing that could be really good. And a lot of people don't record, and then I have done it on stream that I was like, I definitely will have to go back in this thought because I forgot what I just did. And I was so glad that I did that on stream then, that I could go back to it, because our brains are not as trained as they were, so we forget. I have lots of recordings like that on my phone too. That's amazing, preface. That's amazing. Yeah. So your phone is amazing to write notes down, if you're on the go, or to record. If you're not in close to a PC, I always use my phone for that as well. I have like a little map on my phone for these moments. Um, and if I'm just sitting down, I also record into Reaper and have the whole thing record while I'm doing it, or on stream, because then stream has the VOD. Also, one other thing that I really recommend is, from my own experience. This one is really for my own experience. Only get feedback after you've done writing it, and not while. Unless you're definitely 100% stuck and you stop writing forever, then go get feedback maybe, or find ways to get out of that stop. But like, I noticed if I ask feedback on it before I finish a song, it's not fully mine anymore, and it feels like I am writing for someone else, because I start changing what I wrote, and I start thinking about, does this make sense? You can do that afterwards, when you have a first version out fully out of yourself, and then you can start tweaking it. But if you get feedback while you're writing it, and if you're a little bit like a people pleaser like me, you might start to change your song and the way it's supposed to be written out of yourself, because of influences. And feedback is great. 100% recommend getting feedback. Um, but like, do it after you have a version, and don't let the things that come outside of your soul kind of be already influenced in the first stage, because then those things don't have the room to get out, kind of, and don't have the room to get like formed, if you know what I mean. I don't know, that's very vague, but like, that's very, I don't know, yeah. I messed a lot of text again. I may have found 5 pocket notebooks for writing down ideas that come to me when out of the house years ago. That's amazing, Rain. I have used up a fair bit of one of them. That's amazing. That's amazing. I lost the coolest melody I ever came up with between stumbling across it and for the record button. Yeah, I just suck with naming files, from creator of Untitled and Untitled One comes the real Untitled document. uh, then with a real Untitled document, please stand up. Yeah, it can be messy. Yeah, 100%. You do not want to see my files. It's a mess. It's a mess. Also, save your files, because sometimes things happen. We're almost at the end, but also, what we did today was analyze a few of Danny's songs. Analyzing your favorite song of your favorite artist can give you an idea how people play around with words and with lyrics and with music and tone and with all the elements that come towards a song. Analyze your favorite song and see what the artist did with that song. How certain words or sentences connect with you or with the audience. How some build-ups are made. How some of the rhyming schemes are going on. Um, Go analyze songs and see what people did, because the things you might want to do yourself, they might have been done already, but maybe you can take what someone else did and implement it in your song and do it your way. Because that Carrot said it last time as well, right? Or was it on stream? I don't know. As an artist, you steal and you create your own thing with it, because everything has already been done in some way or some point. So go look, see, listen what people are doing, and try to recreate in your own way, with your own style, with your own song. Because because that's what most artists do, right? Getting inspired by other people doing artistic, creative things. um, Also, then we're almost through it, but like, limit and challenge yourself is also a very, very cool one. There's this TikTok challenge going around where people ask for 3 words to a family member, or ask a topic about to write about, like we did with Polar Vortex. That is a cool idea to challenge yourself to write, even if it's just a verse or a chorus every day. Put yourself up with 3 words and a topic. Um, and tell yourself, okay, now I'm just gonna write a verse with, for example, the words dino, cookie, and what was the other word? I forgot. But like, uh, and try to write a song with it. Because as I said earlier as well, songwriting is a skill. It's something you have to practice, that you have to learn, that you have to fold and form while you're doing it. It's like playing guitar or learning another skill. So the more you practice, the better you will be able to play with the words and with the sounds and with all the combination of elements together. The more you feel comfortable doing so. So challenge yourself. Also, there might be this idea that is coming for the future for a bot to have some of those challenges appear every day, but that is still a work in progress. Thank you, Dormo. Well, but that might be an interesting idea that might help any of you wanting to challenge yourself to write even just a little bit every day. Um, with limitations, with like set words, set themes, set topics, that might be a really cool idea to just like get started with it. And the biggest one is start. Because if you don't start, if you stop midway, if you're like, ha, this sucks, it's bad, I'm not gonna finish it, then you're never gonna finish it. You're not gonna start. You're not gonna grow in it because it's a skill, and and skills need time and need motivation and interest to get further into that. Then also, if you are like me and your day is full of things and you barely have any time and you kind of forget to schedule to songwrite sometimes, schedule it in your day planning. Schedule songwriting time. For example, on Sundays, I used to have like 1 hour and a half where I scheduled songwriting time or just writing time where I just brain dump, or I scheduled some creative time in my week where I would work on these kind of things so that I wouldn't forget about it, because there are so many things going on and songwriting is just like any other thing. If you do not schedule it, you might forget to do it or you postpone it, and then the skill gets postponed as well, and growing your skill gets postponed as well. So schedule the songwriting time into your schedule, even if it's just like 10 minutes a day or a half an hour a week. um, and experiment with new kind of things to get out of your comfortable zone. Like, if you're used to playing the piano while songwriting, take a guitar. If you're used to playing the guitar, take a DAW and play with electronic music and beats. If you're used to starting songwriting from instrumentals, try to write from creating the lyrics first and working the other way around. If you've never used any tools at all, start from going to an art exhibition and pick out one painting and or sculpture, and go sit down for half an hour and just write everything that that sculpture or painting does to you feelings wise. um get out of there and do the and go songwriting is what I would say. Go do the scary thing and figure out what works for you, because songwriting is different for everyone. And it's, yeah, if you have any questions about this or about the songwriting or about any of the things that I've mentioned, or about anything at all that you want to get have questions about, or that you want to know more about, feel free to ask right now, or feel free to always DM me about it as well. As I said before, I'm not an authority on songwriting. I just started songwriting because I love it and because I want to learn and grow in it. but I'm always here if you want to ask anything. If you wanna get feedback on anything, if you get stuck and you're not sure how to break through it, um, chances are mo- other songwriters, me included, will have already experienced that as well. So reach out and be sure to ask. uh, I learned yesterday that Google Spreadsheets can be used to send messages to Discord every day, and that is amazing, Dermo. You are a technical wizard, and I appreciate you so much for figuring out that that is a possibility so quickly. Because like I asked yesterday, hey Dermo, is there a bot that can do this kind of thing? And Dermo, like a few hours already had an answer. I was like, thank you so much. I don't understand the thing, but that is great. um,
If we could people clap for Jazzy, I never know. I never want to interrupt, but I am just like honoring your time as well because this has been an